Welcome back, it's Matt, and in this lesson we're going to be talking about ads that convert. This could be Facebook ads, this could be YouTube ads, how you're going to write your ad to convert to leads or sales for your business. Now, I've been writing ads since 2003. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's like, wow, like the internet has not really been a thing in terms of advertising like that. But I will tell you firsthand, I was one of the first people on the Facebook ads platform. It was called FBX back then. You had to go through a media company and get things set up. Back then I was spending $1 million a month in advertising for the people I was working for. And over the years, I've really learned some things about creating winning ads. I was spending $20,000 a day in advertising, just testing different headlines and different copy and stuff like that. But now I work with clients, and for the last 8 years, I charge clients a considerable amount of money. It's $50,000 a year to have me write ads for you. And I know for some of you that might be like, oh man, that's crazy. But I'm gonna tell you, when you're driving multiple seven figures in revenue from the ads that you're writing, it is totally worth it to invest $50,000 to have somebody write your ads for you. Now, this is the lesson that I do every single time I sign up a new client. And I wanna do it here with you for free. How's that sound? Sound good? All right, let's do it. There are two types of ads that you can run. You have your video ads, which you can run on YouTube and on Facebook. We're going to talk about some of these formats, and also Instagram. And then we have our image ads, which you could run on Instagram or run on Facebook. And we're going to talk about some of these image formats, how to set up the hook and do all of that. Let's talk about video ads. And one of the things I want to talk about here is cold traffic advertising. I know that warm traffic advertising is really easy to do, and that's people that already know who you are, already know what your product is, already understand what it is that you're delivering, and you just set up an ad and they're already warm. They already know what you're delivering. For most of us, it's all cold traffic advertising, and that's how you're going to expand your business. Those are the millions of people out there in the world that you can possibly introduce to your message and introduce to your product, and they might do business with you. Those are the people we're talking to. So how are you going to expand your advertising to that audience? Now, let me tell you something. I will tell you firsthand, it really doesn't matter the buttons you click in Facebook or the buttons you click in YouTube. I'm telling you this. It is the ad. It is not the buttons that you click. I have had clients that spend a considerable amount of money, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 per month in advertising, and they have no idea what buttons they're clicking, but they're still getting sales and revenue. Why? Because their ads are great. And then once you start optimizing the things inside the ads platform, it can get less expensive and so forth. So I have clients that spending $7 per lead, $10 per lead, and just by knowing how to target a better audience, you're able to cut that down maybe to $2, $3 per lead. So that's phenomenal. But still, if you're having problems getting just your first lead, I know I woke up this morning, I looked at my ads account, and we got $1.73 was our leads. So $1.73 for our leads that we generated yesterday. And I'm like, wow, that was an awesome day, right? But it wasn't like that when I began. You know, it was higher. It was like $5, $6 when I was starting. But let me take you through the process of creating the ad. And then once you start getting those $5, $6 leads, then it'll start lowering as you start optimizing inside the system. Now we'll talk about that in a moment, but first, let's jump into the video ad creation. So you always want to have some subtitle text. There are two ways to do subtitle text. One is by letting the system do it, like Facebook or YouTube, letting them do the subtitle text, and I do prefer that way. And then the other one is coding in the text yourself. And it's really time consuming and you don't need to do it. You could just use their created text. So I'm telling you firsthand, I've done it both ways. Sit there and type out and create all the text. And I've done it the other way to let the auto generate of text and just make sure it doesn't say anything stupid. And just doing it that way, we get the same cost per lead. So what's the point in spending all the extra time? So use the text, and you can do it in the standard form of your video. So this is the wide angle 1920 by 1080, or you can crop it, say 1080 by 1080. So this is 1920 by 1080, and this is 1080 by 1080. And this is the other format, which this is the 1920, and this is the 1080 in that sense. So with each one of these, what's the best way to run your ad set? Now I've run it this way and this way. Instagram, this is IG. You'll want to run Instagram like that for your stories and so forth. But I'm telling you, also for Facebook stories, so this is the story format for IG and Facebook, right? Now, the difference between this one and this one, I'm back and forth. I'm back and forth on what performs the best, what's working the best, how things are performing. Now, I will tell you right here, do not let Facebook auto crop down to that format size. If you let Facebook auto crop, it's going to make your video look pixelated. So don't do it. If you're going to do it in a video editor, change and crop inside your video editor, and then change it to the 1080 by 1080 down from the 1920 to cut off the ends. But I'm telling you, I don't know exactly which one of these is better because I've had great performing results with both of them. So my advice to you is to switch it up, use both. And a great thing is you don't want somebody to see your video and think, I already saw that video. So if you're targeting to the same audience over and over again, do one ad like this. So do one like that and then do another one like this and change it up. Changing it up will be great because you're able to tell a different message and the people won't just click through and say, I already watched that video. So as you're delivering content, and usually when I'm doing a cold traffic ad campaign, I'll have 5 to 10 different ads that I'll run, and I'll rotate those out based on using the technology, right? So if they saw this ad but didn't see this ad, then show them this. And we do that strategy. Maybe we'll draw some strategy over here in a moment. But we do that strategy because we want people to continue the conversation, understand that a percentage of people aren't going to actually get past the 10-second mark. And as people get past the 30-second and past the minute, you're able to start telling your story a little bit better. So the first ad that we do, and let me just go over here real quick and write this out for you. I think this would be helpful. So the first ad that we do is less than, so we'll say less than 2 minutes. So the video ads, right? Less than 2 minutes. So the first ad is less than 2 minutes. And then what you can do is inside Facebook, you can say, if 50% watch, then you can show them the next ad. So the next ad, say that's 10 minutes long. And that starts digging more into your process. So top level is, hey guys, here's this phenomenal thing that I'm presenting to you. I have my book, best-selling author, The $1 Million Plan, Leveraging Technology to Scale. You can pick it up on Amazon if you want to, but that's not the point of this. The point of this was, here is the book. So, hey, my name's Matt, and I wrote an incredible book. It's going to change your life. It's going to change your business. It's going to help you. This is the 2-minute ad. Really quick, 2 minutes. You can go and pick it up on Amazon right now. Absolutely incredible. So now the 10-minute ad could be, hey guys, I want to read you, a couple things out of the book, and I want to talk to you about something. And then, you go through and maybe read part of the book, or you go through the chapters, or talk about a story from somebody that read the book and, had a big result or something like that. Now, they could be the same call to action, both going back to the book, but then what I do from here is I do the 50% again, and then maybe this one will be video 3, and that'll be maybe 10 minutes long again, and it'll be another training, but that'll be a different call to action. So we'll just say this is one CTA, and then this will be a different CTA, right? And that CTA could be, joining my program. That CTA could be, signing up for one of my groups, whatever that is. You could see that over there, right? So different CTAs for that one and that one, different CTA for the third one. And then I just continue the conversation. I just keep dripping down. So another 50%. So number 4, another 50% watched, and I'll show another, say, 10-minute video, whatever that is. I understand the deeper people go with my content, the deeper they're engaging with my content, the more warmed up they're going to be. So as we get down to the end say number 5 or whatever that would be, 10 minutes here. Let's say number 5 is me starting to maybe pitch my high-end program, because if they get down to this point in time, they're definitely interested in that higher level. So you guys can see that, right? So if they can get down to there, they're definitely, I know they're interested in my higher level. So when I'm creating ads, I will switch up the platforms. I'll switch up to say, maybe a little bit of Facebook, a little bit of Instagram. I'll just do like quick IG stories and pull up the Instagram page, do a 15-second story, hey, this is Matt, I have this awesome thing coming up, check it out, swipe up and come check it out. And then what I'll do is I'll throw that into, this process here. So if they did this but didn't do this, then, throw them into the process. But don't get too, don't let your mind get too out of hand here. The only thing I'm saying to you is create video content, put it online, and let them consume it. And then watch the result to see if they are taking the action that you're trying to get them to take. So for example, I want to track whatever action they're doing and use the either lead pixel or the sale pixel to understand how those people are turning into leads and sales for my business. That's my video ad strategy. Now let me break down the actual video ad itself and break this down. Now the first 3 seconds, this is 3 seconds, you have to get somebody's attention. So how are you going to get somebody's attention in 3 seconds? How I've done this, I've used different settings. I've been outside. It's been even when we're on vacation, like when we go on a trip someplace, I'll just take a couple minutes and just record a couple videos on my phone, and then we'll use that as an ad. Now, why do you do that? Because it stands out. It's something different. You don't necessarily have to run that ad right then and there, but keep it on your phone and you could run that ad maybe later on down the road. So as you travel, as you're, say you're sitting on the beach or, doing something with the family, you're up in the mountains, whatever it is, just record an ad and understand what your offer is and what it is that you're presenting and use this format. So 3 seconds, you have 3 seconds to get attention. It's usually not gonna be necessarily with something you say, but it's with something around you that's really gonna grab that attention. Next is the hook. So you have 10 seconds to get to the hook. Now the hook is going to be what's going to get them to want to go further. And if you want to think about it like fishing, you cast out and you have your bait, right? And the hook is hidden on the bait. So you cast it out, and the cast and the original thing that attracts the fish in would be the bait. Now what gets them hooked in and swimming at you, swimming towards the boat, if you want to use the fishing analogy, is whatever that hook is, whatever that thing is that's going to attract them in. So for the $1 Million Plan, it was, I've developed multiple 7-figure-a-year businesses from the ground up, and I talk about it in the book. Read this book. It's absolutely going to change your life if you're planning on starting up your business. It's going to change your world forever, right? Your mind, the way that you market, everything's going to be changed forever. It's wow, I'm swimming. I'm kind of into what you're saying here, and they start swimming at you, right? So you have to figure out how to write that in 10 seconds. I can't go on and say something for 20 minutes about the book. I need 10 seconds. I need a hook to grab them and get them to start coming at me. So next is belief. Belief, you have about 30 seconds for belief. And a lot of times for belief, you'll use case studies or other examples and things like that. But it's not just the belief in you, it's the belief in them. They need to believe that this is the answer for them. And the 3 big objections you'll always have to deal with is time, is money, and experience. So we'll just say EXP, experience, time, money, and experience. People count themselves out in ads all the time. They're always counting themselves out. And what your job is as the person creating the ads, you need to make them count themselves in, because it's not your product that's terrible. It's not even your offer that's terrible. The offer could be fantastic, but it's not necessarily the offer that's terrible. It's them counting themselves out before they even know what it is that you're presenting. That's 30 seconds. So up to this point, you have 30 seconds to get them to believe that they need to count themselves in, right? So same thing with the book. I'm going to help you to, expand your business and make breakthroughs in your life and all these things. And the first thing they start thinking is, Matt, he's good at marketing. I'm not good at marketing. I can't do this. I talked with somebody actually on Facebook that messaged me today and said, hey, Matt, I want to get one of your products. And I was like, fantastic. Let's get you started. Oh, no. I'm not launching my business till January. And I said, in January is in like 3 months from 3 months from now. I was like, why aren't you launching till January? Like it's literally, it's 10 a.m. right now. We could have an ad online and a landing page online before lunchtime. So I'm talking in 2 hours, we could have something online and you could be in business. Why are you waiting till January? And then it was a fluster of excuses. And that's the problem, is people are counting themselves out. So you have to get them to count themselves in, not just to believe in what you're saying or believe in your product, but to believe in themselves, believe that this is something for them, right? It doesn't matter what you're selling. Like I sell chemical products and supplements and all sorts of crazy things. Like, we were selling courses and whatever. It doesn't matter what you're selling. They're still going to count themselves out. You need to count them in, right? That's the time that you have here. I know it's so short. This is what's so important. Next is offer. So the offer is what you're presenting, what the value is, and I always like to put the value in. So let me keep let me keep on time here. So we'll say 30 seconds, then CTA 15 seconds out. So as you can see, this is about less than 2 minutes for the whole thing. And you have to get all that across. So the offer would be like, hey, I have my book, it's for sale, and I'm gonna pay your shipping and handling. Just go ahead and grab a copy of it, or vice versa. Or I'll just give it to you for free. Just go ahead, just put in your credit card for $1 and I'll ship you a book, and so forth. That would be an offer. So that's the explanation of the offer. The belief, the offer, the call to action. Listen, I'm not gonna be able to keep this up for very long because it's really expensive. It cost me $2.68 to print each one of the books. It's going to cost me about $4 in shipping and handling if you're in the US. So I'm losing money on this. It cost me about $8 per book, about $9 per book. So for right now, I'm giving it for $1, and I'll send that out to you. All you have to do is just click and go over. So that's 15 seconds. So attention, hook, belief, offer, call to action. Hopefully you guys are writing this down, because this right here is the format to a 7-figure ad, multiple 7-figure ads. You can do it over and over and over again. All you have to do is this, and then you can continue to tell your story, continue to warm people up, or get somebody to watch a webinar, get somebody to watch a live stream, whatever it is. You're educating them on your business and indoctrinating them into what it is that you do. It's all video marketing, all this. So you could be YouTube, it could be Facebook, it could be Instagram stories, you could be sharing pixels, you could be doing all sorts of things to tell them your story and get them to understand what it is that you provide. Now, over on the images side, it's harder to hook people. It's harder to get people's attention. So as you're doing an image, same thing, you need to get their attention. The image is the attention. And you can do all sorts of things in video and doing crazy things in video, moving around and all those things. In an image, you can't do any of those things. The image is static. So they're scrolling through. How are you going to get their attention? This is where people are using, cars and luxury and so forth. And I'm telling you, it's not great. It's not great to get people's attention. I have my my YouTube award here for 100K subscribers. I show that picture of that award. Yeah, I get some clicks, but it's not as effective as my video advertising. It's not as effective to cold traffic for my video advertising. Why? Because it's just a static image, and they have to read something and engage with it. And it's really hard. It's not harder for the images, but once you've indoctrinated them and they understand what it is that you're doing, image ads will be better for your warm audience, because your warm audience will engage with image ads at a higher rate. The cold audience, you have like 3 seconds to get your point across, and you can do it in 3 seconds. You could do it and give them something really quick to grab their attention, and then you got them. You got them hooked. With an image ad, it's harder to do. So think about your image ads for your warm market advertising. So people that already know you and know what it is that you're doing. So again, same thing. You can do the the images like this, which would be on your phone, like in this mode, or you could crop them 1080 by 1080, and you can show them like this, or you can do the story, the story long version or portrait mode. And same thing. You have to hook, call to action, and get their attention, hook, call to action, and then get them to, pay attention to what you're doing. And it's tough. It's really hard to do. The best thing that you can do in terms of your image advertising and setting up image ads, the best thing that you can do is when you post an image ad to your page and people go crazy over it on Facebook, say you get like 1,000 likes and, like a bunch of shares, like 500 shares on something, you could hit not the boost button, but you could take that and run it as an ad inside the ads manager. That's something you could do. I learned that from some of the top coaches. They'll post something online. If it gets traction, they'll go ahead and put some advertising behind it. But typically they won't do that. They won't put advertising behind an image ad unless it's already getting a little bit of traction for them. They use video. That's why we spent most of this talking about video. So if you're not using video in your advertising, if you're not using video to tell people your story and expand your message, that's why your ads aren't working for your business, okay? So if you're not using video, that's why you're having problems with expanding your message. And I know that there are people that use images. I know that people are successful in using images, and that's fine. That's fine. They can spend a couple $100,000 over a year or 2 years. It starts warming up an audience, and it starts working for their business. I'm talking to you guys, the people that are saying, Matt, I got $500 to spend. Where do I spend it? I have $500. This is it. After this $500 is gone, if I don't make my money back, I'm really not going to be able to keep marketing and keep going. Spend it in video. Spend it in video marketing. Don't necessarily start posting up these images, because at the end of the day, you're not able to communicate your story. You're not able to get people to hear your tonality. People aren't going to be able to hear your confidence and hear those things about your business. And let me tell you, most of my ads are done on my iPhone. I'm not George Lucas. There's no Steven Spielberg creating my videos for me. A lot of it's just me. And I am talking to you on an expensive camera right now, but I just do that because it connects into I don't know why I do this. But in terms of a lot of my video ads, I create them on my iPhone. You don't need to be George Lucas or Michael Bay or Steven Spielberg to create video ads. You don't need to overproduce them. Most of my ads are all done in one take, or I'll just cut out my ums and ahs and kind of compress it. But still, most of my ads are all done in one take, and they're not even produced. It's just shortened, whatever. Don't overcomplicate, guys. So this was this video lesson. I wanted to go through it with you guys because in some of the next videos, we're going to start talking about exactly how to set up these ads on Facebook and how to set them up in YouTube and how we're expanding and how we're getting hundreds of leads per day using these formats and so forth. But at the end of the day, it's really nothing that you click inside the platform. It's your ad, how you set up your ad. It's how you do this format and how you get them to believe in themselves and believe in the message you're giving and overcome time, money, and experience. Listen, you don't need to have experience in order to create great ads. You don't need to have a lot of money. I'm doing it on an iPhone. You can do it on any device that you currently have, and you don't need much time. It's not much time in development or designing or doing whatever. It could be super simple, and you could do it right now. You could have an ad online in the next 30 minutes, and it'll probably get approved in a couple hours, but in the next 30 minutes, you could have an ad online. So that's me showing you how to overcome that belief and the two most important things are this one, and this one. Those are the three most important things. The two most important are grabbing attention and getting people to believe. And then the third one's the call to action, to have something that's actually making them want to take action now. Not just like, hey, go to my website. Hey, check out my website. It's not about that. It's go and get this offer because it's going away forever. That's the type of messaging that you need. That's the type of messaging you need to put online with your ads. So guys, get to work on your ads, and definitely let me know in the comments below. If you guys have any questions on this, please put them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you on the next one. We're going to talk about setting up these ads on the next video. See you then.